Is Amber coming tonight? Okay, all right, so we'll do over one. You just keep, yeah, really. You've already pushed the button, yeah? Good to go. All right. So we can start. Madam Clerk, you ready to go?
I want to come walk through the park.
Maybe. Yeah. All right. This is a public meeting of the Dinner Springs City Council held January the 14th, 2025. Can you get by? Yeah. That's right. This is the public meeting of the Dinner Springs City Council held January the 14th, 2025, 6 p.m. here in the courtroom of the Municipal Building, 116 North Range Avenue here in Dinner Springs, Louisiana. All notices have been posted and the media has been notified as required by law. I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask Councilman Poole to lead us in a prayer and a pledge.
Thank you, Mayor. Let's pray. Father, we're humbled once again to stand in your presence, to invite you into this chamber. Father, to invite you into this meeting that we may seek your counsel first and foremost, Father, and that our largest and most sincere focus would be on your glory. So God, we thank you for the privilege of service to this great community as we ask for your guidance, your continued countenance, Father, as you continue to bless this community, this leadership, the administration, and most importantly, all the wonderful people that call this home. So Father, we give you thanks as we go into this meeting now. Again, we ask that you would guide all that we do and that it would be done in a manner that honors you. We ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll, please.
Dugas. Gilbert.
Here.
Leon Williams. Here. Poole.
Here.
Westland.
Here. Okay, before we get started on the agenda, I think we have a guest with us this evening. We have Miss Jenny Richardson Ford. Come talk to her. She's a candidate for 21st JDC Juvenile Court, and she'd like to speak to the council.
Yes, hi Mayor and Council and Senator. Good to see y'all in the audience. My name is Jenny Richardson Ford and I'm running for juvenile judge. It's going to cover all of Livingston, all of Tampa, and all of St. Helena. I am a resident of Denham Springs. I married my husband Colt Ford, who is a longtime resident of this area. We have two beautiful children, Cecile and Cassius. I went to undergrad at LSU where I received a degree in accounting, and I was also an LSU cheerleader. I went to Southern Law School. I graduated magna cum laude from there. During law school, I clerked for some big firms, and that was not the life for me. And God placed me in juvenile court. So I have the honor of clerking for Judge Blair Edwards, who is now at the First Circuit. This is the spot that we're filling. I clerked for her for a year and a half, and I've been representing children in her court for the last 10 years. So some of the things that I do, I have to work closely with DCFS, our Family and Needs of Services program. I have a very good working relationship with the Juvenile Detention Center. Some of the services that we're offering in there is if they're there in their secure facility, they are coming out with their high school diploma, OSHA certified, PPEs, and now we have a driver's ed program in North Shore Techs in there. So another thing I want to focus on is I work really close with our truancy and drug court, but when it comes to our truancy, the studies show that if a child is illiterate and can't read by the 4th grade, they're more than likely going to drop out of school, and kids that drop out of school are going to wind up in the system. And we're paying around $10,000 to educate children, but $100,000 to incarcerate children. So I just want to make sure that these children have everything they need to overcome hardships and their trauma and to be productive citizens. So I would ask for y'all's support, and y'all humbly ask for y'all's vote on March 29th. And thank y'all for having me.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Any questions from the council? Okay, good. All right, so we get into the agenda here. Item 1, reports. Rick, city building official, no reports? Or
Should be in the
packet. All right. City attorney is out tonight. She had a death in the family, so our prayers are with Stephanie. Engineers, any reports, or you want to
I have one with it.
catch them then? Okay, sir, appreciate that. City treasurer, I think her work is in here as well. Planning and zoning, Bill, you want to talk about that? Sure.
We met last night to a pretty packed house. In the planning commission, we held a public hearing on the proposed subdivision on Hatcher Lane. And it did not pass. It's the third time it's been before us.
What was the vote? What was the vote?
4-3. 4-3. That one did not pass. We'll see them again, I'm sure.
Okay.
Zoning commission, we rezoned a piece of property for Warnado's out there on 190 because part of it was residential, part of it was commercial. We rezoned it all I-1, which makes sense because that's what the neighbors want. And then we held a public hearing on the special use permit on a townhome development over near the police station on the lot behind it used to be Johnson Ford, I think, right there. Herbert Hoover Drive. I think that's on y'all's agenda for tonight, special use permit, is that right?
No, that's not.
Not tonight?
Yeah,
Huh?
the authorization will come up, should be coming up next week.
Okay, well, that passed, and, that was it.
Okay. Any questions?
I do. Back to the Varnado property, they already owned that property, correct?
Correct, we were straightening out the zoning. Part of it was R1, part of it was commercial, next to it was industrial, and we made it all industrial, just kind of cleaned it up.
What were the numbers on the vote for the townhome development?
For the what?
For the townhome development? Do we have,
It was 3-4.
4-3?
4-3? And did we have any neighbors come out?
Yes, we did have a few.
Yeah.
Not as many as for the other item, but there were some people here.
In support, or just everybody, were the neighbors' opinions on that?
The ones that spoke, I think there was only a couple that spoke, and they were not far.
And that piece of property is where those old trailers were all stacked up at the end of, is it Montgomery?
Correct.
It's always been cleaned up now.
Right there across from, used to be Red Waldrop's dentist office.
Right.
Clean, right.
Okay. Thank you, sir, appreciate that. Chief is not here, or, little chief is here. Your report is in your, who am I talking about, Pops, right? Okay, I think, yeah, he's on vacation right now, out of town, that's right, okay. So fire report is in there, animal report is in there as well, and then we have a police report is in here, Chief, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And then, I think you also have something else to, report on, right?
Yeah, so a couple of things, actually, I want to, add a little something, I meant to get, documentation to y'all on with the, fireworks. So, we had, extra people out, I had 2 officers and, 1 field training officer, out in addition to the shift for, New Year's Eve. And, we had, 7 complaints, fireworks related complaints that they were dispatched to. And, 1 was unfounded. We were unable to locate, that call. Some was held up because we had a major traffic crash. But all in all, we, some summonses were issued and some warnings were issued. I think 7 reports were wrote.
I think that's what I was talking, I think it was 7 reports.
Yeah. And I think there was also 1 gunfire report. But, I don't know if it was related to fireworks, otherwise it was, they were unable to locate anything. So, the other thing that I have is great news after, a few year absence. The Denham Springs Police Department, now has a K-9 again. And, so, our K-9 handler, Corporal Caitlin Beadle is here with us. I wanted to introduce y'all to her. Most of y'all know her, but also to K-9 Cash.
Cash.
K-9 Cash is.
Bring Cash on through so we can get a better look at
Bring him
him.
on through. There you
There you
go.
go. There's Cash.
He's a German short-haired pointer and, he's been highly trained. We're still training him. And he's been doing great so far.
And he is a drug dog, drug
That's
sniffing dog.
correct.
That's really what his expertise is. He looks like he's well trained.
Most of the time.
Very good, very good. And you've had him through the schools and the kids, I'm sure the kids love seeing him, right?
Yeah, we have, today through the.
Most
school.
of them.
We brought him into the school for the first time today.
Oh, okay.
We did wind up with an outcome of, an arrest.
Oh,
In
really?
the school.
Okay.
And we've been through the parking lot several times and we've made arrests there as well.
All right, well, good.
Good stuff. Okay.
Well, officer, we appreciate your help. I know I've seen you and the dog in action out there during some of our events, and he's people love him. He looks like a big baby, right?
Beautiful.
Yeah, he really is.
A rock star.
That's right. He is. So thank you for your.
Thanks
Thank you very much.
listening.
Very good. All right.
And feel free to get back to work. Make it stay for the entire week.
And one person I forgot to announce that was with us this evening is Senator Hodges. So Valerie, thanks for coming out. We appreciate you showing up to visit with us. And you have a new assistant?
Yeah.
Gabby, okay. Good to meet you, Abby. Okay, item 2, approve as published in the official journal minutes of the December 23rd, 2024 City Council meeting.
Motion approved.
Motion by Gilbert. Second by Wesley. Madam Clerk, call for the votes.
Dugas.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Lynn Williams. Yes. Poole.
Yes.
Wesley.
Item 3, adopt the consent agenda for December 1, 2024 through December 31, 2024.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Lamb Williams.
Second.
Second by Dugas. Madam Clerk.
Dugas.
Yes.
Gilbert.
Yes.
Lynn Williams. Yes. Poole.
Yes.
Wesley.
Item 4, adopt the resolution canvassing election returns. With us, we have the infamous Jim Ryan with us to give us the heads up.
And my son Thomas,
Thomas Ryan is with us. There you go.
Is he infamous as well?
he is much better man than me. Robert, which, that's not really saying a lot.
I have a son, brother.
You've known me too long, Robert. Yes, sir, so this is a resolution canvassing returns of the election for the hot tax, for the rental tax, that supports the police and fire. We need to read into the minutes, make sure we get this in the minutes. The votes for the proposition were 2,736, and the votes against the proposition were 1,163. So we have verbally processed the results. The resolution, the first resolution you're going to adopt, well, the only resolution you're going to adopt tonight is simply accepting those results. So that's what the Secretary of State told us the vote count was. We just did the pro se verbal, processed it verbally, and now y'all are going to adopt the resolution saying, yes, we accept the results from the Secretary of State's office.
How did that appear on the ballot? This isn't the text of what appeared on the ballot, was it?
No, let me see, Rob.
I don't want to look ignorant on this, but something crossed my mind earlier today, looking over this.
I've got it.
Just
That shall the city of Benham Springs, state of Louisiana, the city be authorized to levy and collect the hotel occupancy tax of 6 6.75%, the tax upon the paid occupancy of hotel rooms within the boundaries of the city, an estimated $503,110.07 reasonably expected at this time to be collected from the levy of the tax for an entire year in perpetuity beginning April 1, 2025, for the purpose of, after paying reasonable cost of collection of the tax, promoting visitation and tourism within the city by enhancing public safety, with 50% of the proceeds from the tax being used to fund salaries and benefits for employees of the fire department, and 50% of the proceeds from the tax being used to fund salaries and benefits for employees of the police department.
okay. All right, thank you, Jim. So I wanted to ask, or the one thing I guess that crossed my mind earlier, and maybe this was already addressed, and maybe, sometimes you think maybe you should just be quiet on something, but I'm just curious, Could we not envision a situation to where a 50-50 split on that tax between fire and police may not necessarily be the best split? But in other words, what I'm saying is, what if police department demands grow by 30% while fire department demands grow by 10%? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I don't have the perfect answer for that, Robert, but I would guess that in your budget every year, you are already allocating significant amount of funds to the police department and to the fire department. So as a bean counter, and a former state auditor, the reasonable solution to me, if I was Michelle Hood, would be to simply stop taking money out of the general fund that I allocate less to fire.
Yeah, okay.
And allocate more to police, because that certainly is not your only source of funding for salaries and benefits for the fire and police department. It's probably, I would probably guess, probably not even half of what you all allocate.
Okay.
It's the same trick that they did with the lottery, Robert, where I keep calling him Robert, that's inappropriate for me.
Oh, no.
Councilman Poole.
We've known each other a long time.
It's the same trick that they pulled with the lottery when they said, well, we're gonna dedicate all the funds to higher education, which they did, and then they stripped all the money from higher education out of the general fund budget for the state.
Okay.
Yeah, so it all went to higher education, but higher education didn't get a dime more.
Okay, so you're not obligated, we're not a generic municipality that put this on the ballot and passed, isn't obligated to have a fixed employee cost in the police department and fire department combined of last year's amount plus $503,000.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Councilman Poole. This only affects the revenue from the tax.
Okay.
It has no impact on how you budget.
Okay, so there's ways to make that work equitably and, okay.
Absolutely.
I was certain that had been accounted for.
That's right.
Good deal. Thank you, Jim.
All right, so we need a motion to adopt the resolution.
Motion to adopt the resolution.
Motion by Lynn Williams, second by Poole. Madam Clerk, call for the votes.
Dugas? Yes. Gilbert?
Yes.
Lamb Williams?
Yes.
Poole?
Yes.
Wesley?
Yes.
Now, item 5, introduce an ordinance for levying the tax for the adoption to be held on January 27th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the courtroom of the municipal building at 116 North Range Avenue here in Denham Springs.
Not S, right? Not S, right?
Well, there was a misspelling before. Okay. All right, so this is going to be an ordinance that you will write for us or with Stephanie.
You've already got it.
You've already got it?
in your
Okay.
packet.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
I'll read the summary real quick. It's very short. An ordinance levying within the city of Denham Springs, state of Louisiana, a tax of up to 6.75% tax upon the rent or fee charged for the occupancy of hotel rooms within the city effective April 1st, 2025, and providing for other matters in connection therewith. And that's just the ordinance that levies the tax officially, and then we take that to the school board, the tax office, the school board, and we give that to them, and they start collecting the tax from it to you.
So the reason that you're holding this public hearing after you've already had one to call for the election, and you've just done, is because you're actually adding it into your ordinance.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct, Councilwoman Williams. My son asked me on the way here, do I know anybody there? And I said, you've met Robert Poole, you've met Lynn Williams, and you've met the mayor. He's like, I said, a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yeah, so this is just the formal process of now that the election's over and it's been passed. I think the ordinance is just the process of saying we're going to adopt the law and we're going to levy that tax if the voters approve.
And that ordinance will have, because we are authorized to tax at a rate up to 6.75.
Yes, sir.
Right? So that is the number that'll be in the ordinance.
It says up to a tax of up to 6 and 75/100%. So the words up to are in the ordinance.
Okay. Okay, good. All right.
I'm making a motion to introduce the
Second.
ordinance.
Motion by Lamb Williams, second by Poole. Madam Clerk, call for the vote, please.
Dugas? Yes. Gilbert?
Yes.
Lamb Williams?
Yes.
Poole?
Yes.
Wesley?
Yes. Okay, thank you, Jim.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you.
And the firemen and policemen that are here, if you'd like to leave, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to stay, you're more than welcome to.
I hope you're here to see me, man.
Well, you're probably, and he's leaving, like I said. There you go. Thank you, guys. Sure. Appreciate y'all. Item 6. Item 6. Y'all can leave if y'all want.
I have to stay.
Okay.
We won't be much longer.
It's good.
Item 6, approve payment application number 3 in the amount of $46,711.23 to Cape Construction for the H.0144119 East Railroad Avenue improvements. Chad?
Cole told me he was ready to go. I think Jimmy told him.
We have two different clerks here.
Oh,
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This is the last pay item for this, East Railroad that's out in front of you. Bill might be able to retain his payment too. This is a DOT project, so they work a little bit differently. But, we recommend to approve this payment. This is at 80/20 for the matching with the city, on the construction dollars, so we recommend, payment.
I have a question real quick. I know, and I believe Chad's already covered this, but just when I was driving by this last rain, we're seeing a lot of water still holding there. What was the?
So we actually have a separate project working with the city now to fix that situation. It got a lot worse, I think, recently when they did the mill and overlay project. I'm not sure if that was called for it or not, but I think it had some issues before. Y'all got some cypress root trees in the system. So we have those plans ready. They're 100% done. They're give these plans to get a permit because we are attaching to their storm drain that comes on range. It'll go east past the coffee shop and then out to the railroad track. But, I need to follow up with Derek Burner with the state. Actually, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I've been trying to push them, but they got it through a couple of steps in the DOT process, just haven't finalized it. But as soon as they do, we're gonna go off of proposals rather than a 30-day public bid because it'll get a smaller contract. And then come back to you guys to get that lesson to move forward with it. So that's our highest priority. We're still the drainage projects we're working on with y'all as well, but that was, since we saw that action going on with the drainage, we moved it up and kind of made it a high priority. So
That will replace the culvert that goes across in front of the coffee shop and part of the sidewalk where the cypress trees are.
that's correct.
Removed.
That's right. So yeah, it'll grab it from range, go west. Yeah, west, cross the street, and then go for, and then we're actually cleaning the pipe on west as well, and into the railroad traffic.
And so you're certain that this project had no,
Right, that's a good question.
no connection with that? Because all I can see is that project finished and we wind up with flooded streets.
Did we have that before? I was wondering that.
No.
Okay.
We have water coming up.
So if y'all recall, we've had plenty of rain since that project was completed. And that situation wasn't as bad as what it was. And I'm not saying it wasn't completely free of that. I got Michael Lockhart, who's my inspector here too, just to let you know, because I think we all witnessed that. We even checked it. When we tied into that system, basically you had the same water going that direction before. We grabbed it from the same street. We put all brand new pipe. We tied into the pipe that's right here at range on the east side. We didn't touch any of the other drains going further to the west. So I feel like some of the millings, and this might just be a guess, I think the cypress needs are getting bigger and closing and it's really blocking that, because we got pictures of that. You can pop the inlet and see it. But I also think that some of the millings from the asphalt project may have got into the storm drain system too. I don't know if that's true or not, but I felt like that got worse as soon as they completed that project.
Yeah, but I just don't want to release this and then find out that, hey, that they were part of the problem.
Yeah, I don't think this project, I mean, I feel pretty confident that this project did not cause that drainage to be worse like it is now.
There was increased drainage from under the train station platform and from behind it. And now they could have contributed because we have additional water going that way.
Yeah, I think it eventually got there, Mayor. I think it was just allowed to get there a little easier. But for it to sit there for several days afterwards, definitely is not this project. That's something downstream causing that restriction from that water leaving. Because I even popped that lid when I left the last council meeting for you guys and looked at it. You look at the north side, I popped the inlet. You can't even actually get in the inlet because the water is sitting on the street. I got to the south side, you can actually see the bottom of the inlet. So there's something in between there or something in that section that we need to alleviate.
Because it's not just railroad, right? It's also range now. It's pretty significant in the district.
And I think some of that drainage along range actually goes along that same path. So we're gonna be fixing some of range's issues as well when we clear that out.
Right across from Matty, that water stands there every time it rains.
Yeah, I think maybe it was you, Chief, last time that asked me about that. I sent that to DOTD because that's their project, their road, but I think what happened when they did the improvements to that portion of range with the sidewalks and the bricks and all that, they didn't allow for that drainage to get out of there, so it stays in those not the handicap spots, but where that curve comes out. And you have the handicap ramps that come out there, it doesn't allow that water to get out of there. So I think that was just kind of some force and on that.
I remember a few years ago, I know this is off topic just a little bit, but it's not, in front of the tire repair place right here on Hummel and, across from McDonald's. Water wouldn't flow, and we found out if you remember after the flood of 2016, they resurfaced all of Highway 190. And we pulled the drain cover off, and the entire thing was full of asphalt from that overlay. They didn't put anything down, so therefore everything was backed up. And that's what Chad's alluding to. It could be something like that as well. A combination of, sure.
We bought a camera to be able to check on things like that.
That's exactly right. We used the heck out of it.
Does this connect at all to Long Slash Branch? That's got nothing to do with this?
Long Slash Branch comes along and goes out towards First Baptist Church.
Okay. It doesn't seem like standing water to the level that we have would have to be there very long to cause significant damage to the subsurface.
Oh, I agree.
Yeah,
it's not healthy for it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the East Railroad in front of 105 range, if there was heavy flooding, we always had standing water there, but it moved.
It gradually drained out.
Yeah, I mean, not even gradually, it would be gone pretty quick. I mean, within 20 minutes. Now it's kind of staying.
It was half a day or a day, I think it was still there.
Yeah, that's what kind of.
Well, even 40 or 50 years ago, because I'm going to when I first moved here, Hummel used to flood every time it rained.
Yeah.
So it's nothing new to this area.
So now the water's just getting the East Railroad, getting the East Railroad quicker and getting it stopped.
Yeah,
is the
I
deal.
think
That's what I think.
Yeah, and where it was being held up further.
Yeah, I should have brought the pictures of those cypress knees and the pipe.
Now, I'm familiar with those.
So you
Same
got some-
road
Bring it
bridge.
next time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got.
I really do want to see it.
I will, yeah, I'll bring it, I'll shoot it to the mayor.
Okay.
And send it, let y'all see it.
Okay.
No, I'm not afraid.
Some old corrugated metal pipe and the cypress knees are just pushing up.
Yeah, they'll all the way through. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're on item 6, approved payment, is that correct?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Lane Williams.
Second.
Second
we-
by Dugas.
Have some, no, that's good. After the second, I think is the appropriate time for some further discussion.
Sure.
Right?
Sure, go right ahead.
So, well,
Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just concerned, and I know Jeff is as well, about releasing that money before we have some concrete idea of the nature of the problem. If, I know you say that this project had nothing to do with it, but that's a huge coincidence for something that was not an issue, that is an issue immediately after that project.
Yeah, the next item is the final acceptance. This project was final punch list, about a year ago, November of 23, actually. I'm sorry, yeah, November 23. So that project's been done for at least a year. And actually, the drainage has probably been done even further than that. So I don't remember this issue being that far back, I'm sure we've had some significant rain events. And that's why I'm saying we tied this storm drain in well before we did the concrete work. And it's probably, it's probably been a year at least since we've had that. But, so that's why I feel really confident actually that this project is not impacting that situation you have downstream. If you want, I can show you, I didn't bring it with me tonight, but I can show you the pipes with the cypress knees in it and how clogged it is. I think that'll give you some good insight of what's really going on. Yeah, and that's all I can say. I mean, we just basically, other than tying into the existing pipe with the same location of all the same systems, same road, all we did was add an inlet on the road to catch the water getting off the road quicker, but it all tied into the same outfall pipe that was on this side of range, on the east side. So basically what I'm saying is we took the existing drainage, removed it all because it was just old, didn't have enough of it, we added some more new pipe and just tied into that same inlet on this side of range. So that's why I feel pretty great. I mean, feel pretty confident that
This project has nothing to do with that.
Nothing to do with it. Okay. Any idea on a time frame to solve that problem? I know that's a very unfair almost thing to ask you, but
No, I say if I can get DOT's approval this week or next week, give me 2 weeks to get the proposal and get a contractor in. So realistically, I'm saying probably 3 months out, probably before I can have that contract in place, contractor working to change those pipes out, add some new inlets on the west side of East Railroad. And so anyway, I'm thinking three months from now.
yeah, okay.
That we can have a contractor in there working on that.
Okay.
Yeah, they've been working on this for quite some time already.
Yeah.
Already.
Just you cringe every time you see standing water on your brand new roadway.
Well, and it's the heart of the city, right, coming through here.
Right, that's right.
You know what the ADT is coming through here. Not only y'all are getting calls, I'm sure Senator, but I just is, and I know DOT is. So
Right.
we know how important it is. I keep saying I feel pretty confident. I feel pretty darn confident that this project did not impact that.
Did not impact that.
Yeah.
So we have a motion and a second. We just need a vote on item 6.
Dugas,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Lamb Williams.
Yes.
Poole,
Yes.
Wesley.
Yes.
Item 7, adopt a resolution authorizing Mayor Gerard Landry to execute the final acceptance of the East Railroad Avenue Improvements Project H.0144419.
Yeah, same project, just a letter that the mayor has to sign saying, accept the final acceptance of the project.
Motion to adopt is read.
Motion by Gilbert,
Second.
second by Williams, Line Williams. Madam Clerk, call for the vote.
Dugas,
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Lamb Williams.
Yes.
Poole,
Yes.
Wesley.
Yes.
Item, that's it for you, Chad? Thank you.
I'll come back on.
Oh, okay. Item 8, discuss and take appropriate action to authorize the Mayor Gerard Landry to enter into a contract with Alvin Fairburn and Associates AFA contract for sand filter rehab and grit system removal rehab. We don't have anybody from Fairburn, but this is the ongoing project that we had started on a year or so ago, if y'all remember, when we had the moratorium. And this is the last piece of it, as I understand.
I mean, Eddie's been here and talked about several times.
Yes. So we're just gonna move on to the last piece of it, I think.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Line Williams.
Second.
Second by Dugas. Madam Clerk, call for the vote.
Dugas.
Yes.
Gilbert,
Yes.
Lamb Williams.
Yes.
Poole,
Yes.
Wesley.
Yes.
Item 9, discuss and take appropriate action and authorize the Mayor Gerard Landry to enter into a contract with Ford Supply for Home Depot Drive.
Yeah, Mayor, thank y'all again. This is with the hard work of Senator Hodges and the rest of the state delegation. Y'all have some capital outlay funds. $500,000 for Home Depot. That's item 9, and item 10, y'all got $400,000. But this is to get that project moving forward. And like, just a reminder, this is all to help improve the interstate range interchange eventually. These smaller projects are part of that bigger picture. Home Depot Road, we're gonna add it'll be a 3-lane road, so we'll add one more lane to that. That's what this project is for. Our initial steps are to get the survey work going so we can start getting some of these projects moving forward with state capital outlay funds that are, I believe these are cash, called capital outlay fund, savings funds.
Yeah.
So, I believe they're cash dollars on that, but at least us to get us moving forward with it. And we just ask for y'all's, what I would like to ask y'all's approval tonight, not necessarily sign these contracts yet, we have to get facility planning and control, who's the state agency that authorizes these funds and moves the funds from the capital outlay to you guys. We have to get their blessing and concurrence on the contract, but if we can get y'all's approval on the contract, we'll get it to facility planning before the mayor executes it.
I can tell you, we've met how many times at your office with Senator and Representative Wilder as well, trying to figure out how to get this funding, but they've come through for us.
Yeah, we're gonna continue to push, I think the next sessions that we have, this year, dollars, we're gonna keep asking for additional funds to keep the project moving.
Awesome. Thank you.
When do you think y'all will start that?
As soon as we get these contracts approved, we're gonna start our survey work.
When do you think the work will actually be done? Just get going.
Construction work? Probably a 3 or 4 year project, I think, before we get that. Once we get enough funds to start construction, we do this in the planning and development phases.
I'm thinking a year or two for that, and then the construction office start coming in.
Okay. So we need a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Gilbert, second by Poole. Madam Clerk, call for the vote, please.
Dugas? Yes. Gilbert?
Yes.
Leon Williams?
Yes.
Poole?
Yes.
Wesley?
Yes.
Item 10, discuss and take appropriate action authorizing Mayor Darrell Lane to enter into a contract with Fortune Collateral, Demco Drive, and Rushing Road Connector.
Yes, just a reminder too, Mayor, on this one, that's connected to the Cook Road that's being worked on right now. They got a roundabout on the east side. This will come straight through that property. It's just south of the Demco, what do you want to call it, the field office. And then also something's called a Russian Road Connector. So basically from Russian Road to that new Demco Road, there'll be a north-south road there as well. Those two will be in tandem, built together, and that basically eventually will eliminate the light at Russian and get that traffic away from the interstate. So that's what this road's kind of helping with, get the traffic further north of the interchange, so you can get rid of some of those congestion areas by the interstate and eventually do the diversion down. That's the ultimate goal. But I think this project, whether you're doing the interchange or not, is still economically a valuable project for the city.
Yeah, we have some long-range plans that this would definitely help us with. And guys, you know, all roads in Livingston Parish lead through Denham Springs or Walker, right? So we have to work the best route that we can to get some funding so that we can improve the flow on our roads. And that's always the challenge. Just recently, we did a little small analysis of the traffic at the interstate. At range, it's like, we're approaching 80,000 cars a day. At Home Depot Drive, it's approaching 32,000 cars a day. That's a lot of traffic coming through Denham. So we need help from our legislators, and they have been meeting with us on a regular basis to come up with some funding. And once it starts, right, Ms. Hodges, once it starts, then you can continue add to it. Yeah, that's cool. So we got it started, so that's a great thing to see.
Same thing, we can get the same concurrence on this one, we'll get facility plan and bless it the same.
Right.
So are we gonna have some relief on the interstate before I go meet my maker?
I'm gonna say lots of prayers for that one. We gotta start somewhere, that's all I can do.
I know, it's a mess, isn't it?
All right, motion to approve. Motion by Gilbert. Second by Dugas. Madam Clerk, call for the vote.
Dugas? Yes. Gilbert?
Yes.
Leon Williams?
Yes.
Poole?
Yes.
Wesley?
Yes.
And the item that we've all been waiting for, item 11, authorize the surplus of the following asset number 10014 for destruction. It's inoperable. It's an HP OfficeJet 8740, a wireless all-in-one printer, serial number CN69SE6117, a white printer in the permit lobby.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve by Lane Williams.
Second.
Second by Gilbert. Madam Clerk, call for the votes.
Dugas? Yes. Gilbert?
Yes.
Leon Williams?
Yes.
Poole?
Yes.
Wesley?
Yes.
Motion by
Motion
Lane
to
Williams.
adjourn.
Second by Poole. Second.
Dugas? Yes. Gilbert?
Yes.
Leon Williams?
Yes.
Poole?
Yes.
Wesley?
Yes.
Thank y'all. Good night.
Appreciate you.
Yes.
Next week.
Yeah, it was like $3,000 donation.